Hey y'all, giant milkweed can be your best friend in a butterfly garden. I'm headed down right now to get some cuttings to bring in for my monarch and queen caterpillars. I recently put in a dedicated milkweed garden, and as much as I love my native milkweed, Asclepias incarnata, I also use a few non-native milkweeds, including giant milkweed and balloon milkweed. But today we're going to be focusing on giant milkweed and particularly how I use it to feed monarch caterpillars and queen caterpillars. Longer stems tend to do better in water, and sometimes they'll even root. There's a nice little cluster on this plant. You definitely don't want to take this big back one because it's got too many good leaves on it, and I don't have that many caterpillars to eat all that, but I'm thinking this one right back here is probably going to be the one I'm going to take for now, and it will push out new growth at the base. So when I take the cutting, I don't have to worry about that. I take the cuttings just below a node with a stem long enough to get down into the water. All right, let's go feed some cute caterpillars. Yeah, look how cute this little guy is. He's just on this tiny little stem. And then we got this beautiful queen right here on another stem of giant milkweed. And then we've got this beautiful queen butterfly female that just eclosed this morning. Okay, so let's get this ready. I filled this with water. I rinsed off the giant milkweed in the sink. I don't bleach wash it, but I just super rinse it off. Okay, so now we're gonna get the paper towel ready. I'm gonna wrap the stem. Place the paper towel like a wick down into the water and the stem. And now we're ready to transport caterpillars. And I'm going to go ahead and take this little queen out. Look at her go. The scientific name for giant milkweed is Calotropis gigantea, and it is a perennial shrub. It can get 16 feet tall, y'all. 16 feet, which is, hopefully mine aren't going to get that tall because they're going to be consistently cut back to use as a food source for monarch and queen caterpillars. So this serves as a host plant, and it is native to tropical regions of Asia and South Africa. So it's not native here, but it will do well here in warmer locations such as Central Florida, where I am. It doesn't tolerate freeze well, but it will grow back from a freeze, and if you keep it in pots and move it inside, then it'll be just fine. And the caterpillars will pupate directly on the plant too. A super cool thing about the plant is they will root super easily. Look at the root that came out of this stem. This was a cutting I used to feed them. And you can literally stick this stem in the ground and it will grow. This one I'm going to put in a pot. So this pot just has your everyday, regular old Florida sandy soil, and it doesn't want anything fancy Just stick it in and you can see it grow. I'll show you some other ones that I've already stuck in the ground or the pot, and you can see them growing. So here's a pot. This has 3 little stems. I literally just stuck them in the ground after they were done being munched on, and you can see they're putting out new growth. It's pretty fabulous. So once you have one, you can make a lot more. They're just not going to grow super fast, so you got to give them time. And just put them out in the hot, baking sun because they're tropical, and that's what they love. If you're wondering why I'm including non-native milkweed varieties in my milkweed garden, there's a couple of reasons. First of all, Asclepias incarnata doesn't really grow fast. It has a period of dormancy, and here in Florida we have monarch butterflies and queens year-round. So we need a plant that's not going to be dormant for them. Second, giant milkweed. I have rustling dogs. See them? Second, giant milkweed has huge leaves, grows relatively quickly, and can feed a lot of caterpillars. Third, the University of Florida IFAS, which I think is the Institute of Food and Agricultural Services, on their gardening solutions articles, they describe giant milkweed. It says, giant milkweed makes an excellent specimen plant in Florida-friendly landscapes between USDA hardiness zones 9 and 11, which I'm now 10A. So they consider it a Florida-friendly plant, which means it's not invasive, it's not causing problems. It is a host to monarch caterpillars and queens. Both species will lay eggs on the giant milkweed, so it is not harmful to them. It's also a good plant for our area because it can tolerate our hot climate or sandy soil, and it is resistant to most pests and diseases. I will link the articles that have this information below in the description. You see this giant milkweed right here has nice, deep, rich green leaves. Sometimes giant milkweed leaves can yellow, and if you see them start turning yellow, it could be because they are overwatered or the soil where they are planted does not drain well. So you'll want to check and make sure that the soil is able to dry out and that they're not getting waterlogged. So I personally have 5 or 6 giant milkweed plants, plus I have some in pots. Through my channel, I talk to a lot of people who use giant milkweed, and I really only hear positive things about it, and that they find that they get healthy butterflies when they feed the giant milkweed leaves to their caterpillars, as long as they're rinsing them off and washing them. You see them? If you're considering putting in a milkweed garden, you might want to include giant milkweed as one of the plants mixed in with your natives. Always, always, always best practice is using native, but sometimes you need a supplement, and giant milkweed might just be the right way to go. You guys, I don't know why I haven't thought of this before, but you know how I was saying about the giant milkweed can turn yellow when the stems are, or when like they're too waterlogged? Why don't I just put the stems in soil? Why do I put them in water when I already told you in this video that they'll root? You just stick them in the ground. So I'm gonna try it right now because my guys in there need a fresh cutting. Oh, and by the way, that was a Gulf fritillary butterfly I just released. He was ready to go, so I just kept talking to you while I let him fly. Anyway, I'm gonna go grab a pot of soil, get a stem of giant milkweed, and plop it in the soil for the caterpillars, and we'll see. This is good old Florida soil. So I just rinsed this stem cutting off with just tap water. Just see how nice and dark these leaves are. This is the cutting I currently had in there. See the difference in the color? And these are the stems that were kept in water. So I'm wondering if it will retain its deep green, which is going to be more nutritious. So will it stay green longer? Well, time will tell, and this video is going up tomorrow, so you'll have to check back to a future video for an update, and I'll let you know how it worked out.